You know,
just told me you got other
and this is Picking Up the Pieces podcast, right? But I'm a new piece. You know, these two dudes, they've been pieces for a very, very long time, which is why I can't get a word in. So I'm gonna get my word in right now.
Yeah.
While they keep on talking, because my name is Antoine. You know what I mean? I am Clumsy's dad. I'm Jayla's dad. Caprice's dad. Deshaun's dad. And we'll talk about Antoine, his dad as well. And Jemiah's dad. But you know, I'm forever grateful for just sitting here and getting my piece in finally. Because, you know, these two brothers, man, they talk a lot. You know what I mean?
What you want to talk more?
Oh man, I ain't gonna say nothing because I'm just glad to be a piece. You feel me? And we don't point fingers at the pieces.
Yeah,
but we got brothers, man. We
more. I'm a gregarious white brother. I'm a networker.
Yeah.
You feel me? I network.
Yes, sir.
I talk that talk.
Yes, sir.
My ex used to say, "You're an over talker." Everybody states that. I am long-winded, if you will. Yes, because I always got a story to tell, man. It's the reality of the situation. I'm sorry. That's why I'm doing this podcast. I am a brother that likes to express himself. I'm a brother that, I don't want to say an emotional brother because we'll leave that to the strong women. But I'm a logical thinker. And there's a lot that I need to say. And a lot of times there's a lot that I have to say. I'm an alpha, you know what I mean? I'm a high value brother. I'm a high quality brother. This is Torrance Jones. This is who I am, a.k.a. JFK. Hey, when I stand up on BUAV all day. You feel me? You got something to say about that, Jay?
No. I'm here right here with it.
Yeah. I'm here as well. You know, my brother Torrance. They call him, what do they call him? Cuz the pastor from the Reverend from New Jersey. You know what I mean?
This is the podcast came out.
I got several phone calls talking about let the pastor go.
Yeah.
Let him just keep going. Keep him in the middle.
Yeah. But the pastor got a lot to say. But I got a lot to say as well. My cuz got a lot to say as well. But Torrance is a glue. Torrance is the piece.
Torrance told the group text that he's selling it. Single man celibate woman, he's searching.
Word.
Back to me though, I'm a father of 5. I love all my kids. My mom had 5. My dad had 5. From oldest to youngest, we got Jessica, Chaz, Jeff, Jeremiah, and Jayla. Like,
sure. My baby
I stand on it though. My oldest, she a school teacher. The one up under her, Chaz, she graduated high school, college. Now she do eyebrows. I don't know what the thing is, but she probably doing that for probably like 6-7 years now. My son finna be 22 next month. I feel like he left $20 million on the table. Hell of an athlete. Growing up, all my kids was entitled. Like, I spoiled the shit out of them. I kind of don't like I did it, but I did it because of where I come from. He worked out. His trainer was an ex-NFL guy, friend today, man still today. Mike Davis. He played in the NFL. I met him through a guy that I've known probably right now over 20 years. He's like a brother to me. But Jeff done been on news. Not once been in trouble. Kind of a suburban kid. Bloodline is tight. Jeremiah, he the opposite of Jeff, but I got him working out now because the doctor, he a couple weeks ago, well, probably like 10 days ago, he woke up in the middle of the night. Woke me up because when I'm in town, I spend countless hours with my kids. His chest was hurt. Well, me and his mom, I was saying I caught food poison that day. Remember I told y'all I caught food poison.
Yes.
So the relationship I have with me and my kids, out of 3 of them, phenomenal too. I'll get into the other one later. I ain't gonna get into that. That's my youngest. But Jeremiah had woke up. Damn, Well, how bad is it? He says a 6. Go back to sleep, you'll be all right. Well, within an hour, he came back, said it was an 8. Right then and I was so sick, I couldn't even get out of bed. His mom came, fast forward, took him to the doctor. He brought him back home. We had a, they CAT scanned him. 2 days later, we had to go to the hospital. Found out it was just heartburn. Right now, I got him working out every day right now with us. Shit is beautiful. I make a lot of sacrifices.
Because guess what he's doing, bro?
Talk to me.
He's a black man that's standing up. He's a man that's taking accountability for his family. He's a man that's taking accountability for his tribe, which is what picking up the pieces is all about. Taking accountability for our tribes, taking accountability for our people, you know? Because we are all broken vessels. We spoke about that in the first episode. We spoke about Cuz. Michi, shout out to you, Cuz. Cuz 10 years ahead of me. I'm 46, he 56. And he really broke down the story. Y'all was really DDTing people on concrete. You know what I mean?
Well,
and talking about
running.
Yes,
they didn't want to come outside.
Yes, and talking about
You asked God.
Yes, I did. And talking about he didn't expect nobody to get hurt.
You remember
I said,
that?
Cuz, on concrete.
You know what God made me do to our cousin Kevin?
What's that?
He hyped us up. Did he tell you that
He told me the
bullshit?
story. He told me
We
the
had
story.
a family gathering at the house. Kevin, he probably your age, a little young. He probably
A little older.
well, he was probably like 2-3 years under me.
Yeah.
But he made Kevin think he could beat me.
Yes.
Shitted in my mama. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We were bad as kids.
Yeah.
We were fucked up.
Yes.
Well, he thought he hyped us up to fight. Bop, did him. Damn near broke his neck. I was like, man, don't do that. I fucked him up when my brother wanted to beat me up.
Yeah.
I used to couldn't hang with my brother when they used to be throwing white boys through windows and all that shit.
Yes. But these are all broken pieces.
No,
These
this
are all
is-
pieces that's coming together. Tell us what picking up the pieces is all about, sir.
I think right now what we're doing is we're going over kind of the first episode of Picking Up the Pieces and explaining to you all what Picking Up the Pieces looks like to us. We're talking to you about experiences, life experiences, emotional experiences, mental experiences of situations that have taken place within our lives. We're giving you a little small introduction of a teaspoon of the piece of our first episode, but moving forward, we're going to move you into exactly, and what I heard a lot of views, what I heard by way of comments, what I heard by way of subscribers, is like, okay, we understand you all's personal experiences.
Yes.
This is what I heard. Personal experience of what it means, what picking up the pieces exactly means. And one more time, picking up the pieces means that three of us, we came together. On our first episode, we want to give you all some of our soul. We want to give you all some of our minds. We want to give you all a piece of our lives so you can feel vulnerable. Because right here, right now, I come from some aggressive shit. Jay, a.k.a. Fat Jeff from Mount Auburn, he comes from tumultuous times and different situations that have actually taken place with him. My man Antoine, he's come from certain situations where he's able to relate with us, but by way of his own tumultuous times. Picking up the pieces is dealing with three individuals coming together to explain to you all where we come from to where we are, how we can build up our homes as well as our communities by recognizing psychological issues, by recognizing mental issues, by recognizing parents not being there, a father not being there, a mother not being there. And the father, you already know how the system is set up, where we're dead in the penal system or we're just absolutely absent. And the reason
I
why...
don't agree with that shit.
Well, it
I
happens.
don't agree with that shit. All my kids, boy, and before I went on the run, and when I went on the run, I wanted my oldest to be with me. Me and her mama just didn't agree, so I respected it because she was a dominant mom. I promise you, all my kids, unless I was out of town, they heard me snoring.
Yes.
I remember coming in home at night late, whether it's leaving the club or drunk hanging out. My little boy, whole front line, drunk Gatorade and had peanut butter sandwiches
Yes, sir.
that I fed to him because he congratulated him for blocking for him. I just didn't know the pieces to pick up because he was so talented school after school after school wanted him. So I hopped. And keep in mind, he's an athlete, but he was short. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'm sponsoring, I'm doing shit. I should just left him in one school and kept him focused on certain things, which is football and school. But
So a lot of people,
Twan, that's that part where it comes in like you, bro.
yeah,
He had a mother and a father.
yeah.
And today's episode is actually about black men stand up.
oh yes,
I'm gonna pull back from that because we don't want to give y'all that yet. Because what we're doing right now is having an open conversation. Because we're halfway touching on personal situations that have happened with us, but also we're kind of drifting into what the topic of today is, and that is black men stand up. I'm sorry, bro.
And it's all based on accountability.
Wow.
You know, the black man has been removed for a very, very long time. But we played our positions as men in the home. Because, like I said, in the beginning, before you heard it, he's a man that takes care of his tribe. Torrance, we talked about it before. You're a man that takes care of your tribe, be it biological or not biological. You know? Me, I'm a man that took care of my tribe. But I was taken care of by a man that wasn't my biological. He was the first black man that stood up for me, which gave me a different path. You know? He gave me a different path. Because if it was just my mama, God bless her and I love her, I would have been wild. You know? But it took my non-biological father to step in and be the man for me. And he's the guy for me. You feel me? So when we say black men stand up, we talking about, we don't stand up just for our own. We stand up for others. We stand up for black men that have fell to the wayside, because the children are our future.
Wow.
You know, young man told me today, man, you know, shout out, we filming from our daycare, Little Dreamers Child Care, and we're going to tie all that in. And a lot of the reasons why we're filming from our daycare is because of the folklore of Fat Jeff. But we'll get into folklore of Fat Jeff another time, and we'll let him tell the story. Well, right now, what I'm saying is, I'm standing up for not just my children, I'm standing up for all children, which is why I have this child care center. But tell me some more about what you got going on, sir.
What I have going on,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna slow everything down. Because one more time, what I heard from the first episode is we're not like quite clear about what Picking Up the Pieces is about. Picking Up the Pieces is a high-level conversation with three individuals about home and community, and how three pieces have come together to find different ways, opinions as well as experience, to combat against mental poverty, generational poverty, and so on and so forth. I'm kind of being redundant about this, right? So the story that we have today, the topic of today, is black men that need to stand up, responsibility, accountability, and duty within home as well as the community. My issue within that topic is, I'm about to give you all several different issues that I have. One of the issues is that I see too many, I'm sorry, not too many. I'm gonna just roll it off the top. I see too many young brothers, I see too many sisters at the barbershops with their children. And these are boys. The brothers, where you at? Black man stand up. Pick up those pieces, homie. I see too many children at the bus stops at 6, 7, 8, maybe even 9 in the morning, where the children are standing there by themselves. Where you at, black man? Pick up those pieces, man. I don't care if you've been out for the night. I don't care if who you with, whatever the case may be. Man, homie, you supposed to be there just in case the mother has been at, all night up at work at the STNA program, and y'all gonna be like, man, he's catering to the females. But I'm not catering to the females. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier, and I've been on this battlefield. I used to be a general that used to work for the devil, but now I'm on the soldier field. I'm a soldier on the battlefield for my Lord. And any king, any soldier, you're supposed to be the man, especially with your boys. And then sometimes you gotta go with your girls and get their hairs done. But my point being is, the Urban League, which I currently work for, they used to ask me, Torrance, what is the secret to the sauce? And I used to say to them, I'm really not quite sure. But in all reality, the secret to the sauce is our black men need to stand up. Our black men need to hold accountability, one more time, responsibility and duty to community. Everything starts with us for our children to stop killing each other, for our children to stop moving product, for our children to stop banging their own homies, for our children to have an understanding of integrity, morals, and values, for our children to understand who they are, what they are, as well as where they're going. All this shit needs to begin with us. And I watched Jay, I watched Twan. I told y'all on the first episode, this man brought his nietos, his grandbabies to our breakfast with us. In order for him to do that, he had to understand responsibility as well as accountability. Then over here, you all can't actually see. We see this beautiful little girl right here, Jay or OG. But Jay is a brother that stands in what's called, in algebra, they call it, what is it called? An outlier. You're considered an outlier.
In layman terms.
Outlier means someone that goes outside the norm of what's taking place. I say that to say this. This brother has a new baby over here. A little girl. She's beautiful. What's her name, Jay?
Let me stop there right now.
Go ahead.
I got an ongoing situation, right? Which I want the world to know. It just ain't the time right now.
You don't want to talk about it right now?
With that being said, right, I agree with like 70% of everything you just said. Probably like
I wasn't to 100 yet. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna sit back. I like to piggyback because
go ahead.
we all three different men with three different views.
Yes, sir.
Now for me, as a black man who used to like I say, man, fuck them people who ain't talking about barbershops or this or that. Every morning when I find my downtime and my kids with me, like I'm excited. Boy or girl.
Alpha male.
Oh, boy or girl.
Masculine
you
male.
You know what I'm saying? Look it.
Yeah.
I just happen to be raised around women, so I know how to cook too.
Yes.
So my son, not my daughter, because my other two daughters, they're a little older. And they eat their little chicken, beef, and pork. Man, my Jeff on down to Jayla, no beef pork, ain't unless somebody fed it to them and they didn't know it. Yeah. But my other, we don't.
Sounds like honest to me. Sounds like the black male in the home to me. Sounds like responsibility, accountability, and duty.
So 70% you, probably 70-some% you, because I'm really there. I really don't stuck. If she there or he there, man, this just had to happen. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna pick up on her one day, but I'm really like me and go back to me saying, I understand what you said, what people were saying, this and that. Well, we was a little excited.
Excited about what?
About me getting my relatives right here, right now, because he really be going through stuff that if you haven't experienced it, you wouldn't know. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know.
He gonna go through his trials and tribulations, but nothing has stopped him from bringing his grandbabies to breakfast.
I didn't know who he was gonna bring.
Whatever the case may be, before you brought him
Guess what? He was a little late.
Man, whatever the case may be, before you brought him to breakfast, at some point in time you took him to school.
Yes.
Whatever the case may
But that's
be.
regular though.
Now that's not regular, and that's the problem.
Not regular
And that's what we're talking about when we say black men stand up.
Those that know me knows me. Those that don't. Everybody have options and opinions and able to do what they want to do. That's why we're here today. If they take it, they take it. And you have to keep in mind, I see you aggressive, chest up and everything. But you have to keep in mind, that same people or that same man or woman might have told you what they told you. What the fuck they got going on?
The next move you make, if it is not the best move for those that come behind you, should not be the move that you should make.
This is the question I'm asking you, brother. Them people who was criticizing you, what do they have going on?
Criticizing me?
Or criticizing us?
Well,
No, let's get the answer. Let's get that answer because let's get in their business. I'm an inner person. I want to be in your business.
About the corny comment.
Yeah, so whatever it was, I can't.
Oh, wait, we drifted then.
Yeah.
We drifted.
Got something to do with accountability.
Hold on, we drifted. Because right here, right now, man, we are talking about the responsibility, accountability, and duty of the black man. Within that, it has nothing to do with criticism of what we're doing. What we're talking about here right now is the jobs that we have an understanding of. The jobs that we...
It won't happen anyway.
No, it's not happening. That's the problem.
So the
job.
So the respectability and the accountability comes from this, man. It's easy for men. It's easy for you. Because it was
not easy. It's not easy.
Not easy, but it's something that we know we are required to do
As kings.
as kings.
And how do we come about that though, Twan? Because what's this issue that's taking place right now? The issue that's taking place right now. We got homies. We got man. Now I'm about to get to it. Let's talk about it. Hey man, let's talk about it. With the problem that I'm having right here, right now, is homeboys that are selling dope with their sons. You have already been through the trials as well as the tribulations of
Well, you know, that's a choice though, Torrance.
man. No, it ain't no.
See, me, I got a little, my relative.
So everything is a choice.
30 seconds, please.
Yep.
I got some relatives right now who left over 15 years ago. Hey, can you zoom in? 'Cause I want you to see this shit. Over 15 years ago, he left for drugs. He didn't get caught with one crumb. He had a beeper back then. People who y'all look up to in this state. Well, some of them was saying whatever he didn't say nothing. He just told me yesterday and today. He told me yesterday when I was cooking for the kids, because this regular. I was cooking. Call me because you got to send a text through an app. Man, call me. He called me when I was getting off the flight. Off the flight just to be here with my little Man, you told me yesterday that you rather work in McDonald's than come back to these people's jail. He in the feds. Look it. He say them y'all what? Because he talking about Trump. Well, Trump, I ain't gonna get into that. That's a whole other story. But he say Trump, he feel like Trump done gave them people a pass. Well, he said they locked up for the last, he did 15 years. He said the last 3.5, 4 years, every month, he been locked up. Locked down, meaning 23 to 24 hours a day.
Yes.
He said, if I would have did the time when I was young, then to now, I probably wouldn't have got in trouble. And I'm listening to him, but I want to say, well, shit, that's kind of good because I ain't got to worry about you getting in trouble no more because it's okay. You know what I told him? I said, it's okay to wake up and shit on your own toilet. It's okay to wake up and just, breathe the air.
Yes.
My big homie, like, who I look up to, he ain't a millionaire. But I respect him. But guess what? Y'all gonna meet him one day.
So
My apologies for cutting you off, but that had to happen when you said that, Torrance.
The topic of this show, Black Men Stand Up. Responsibility, accountability, as well as duty. You're going to have to sacrifice. I don't care, one more time, I said this prior to the show, the first episode. I don't care whether or not you call him Jesus, Jehovah, Yahweh. I don't care what you call him, right? You're going to have to make some type of sacrifice. If the next move that you make is not the best move for your children, then you are not to make that move. We have too many brothers that are standing on the front pews when their sons are killed, when their daughters are killed, and they're up front. Yes, they're up there, people are coming around, and they're saying, my condolences, that was my nigga, and so on and so forth. But who will take a look at themselves, look within themselves to say, what part of this pie is the reason why my son died before me? And the issue to this situation is, us as black men, we're not standing up. Because we're always stating these facts. This happened with my stepson when he died. I heard his uncle say that we did all that we could, but we did not. Man, we did not. I did not. Because I was thinking about moving product, and then I would say to myself, man, I got to do for my children, but I didn't have to do that. There were so many other avenues for me to be able to stay home and be there to guide my son, to instill in him morals, values, discipline, ethics, ambition, value, integrity. But what did I do? I was selfish. I moved that Ready Rock. And then that Ready Rock eventually turned to Crack Rock. I moved that. I started grabbing pistols and some individuals got shot. You know what I mean? Word up. So I was an incredibly selfish brother. With that being said, I was not just a father. I was not just a stepfather. During that time, I was somebody's big male cousin. I was somebody's big uncle. I was somebody's big brother. But yet and still, I didn't hold my space and say, if I go away, what will that gap do? This is what's taking place within our community. And it has elevated into our children, into our sons, into our nephews, into our little cousins, to the point where we are filling up the funeral homes. We are always on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays at somebody's funeral. But we will not claim it. Absolutely. You better cut me off.
So this is why I'm here.
Speak.
I got to be here because of Cousin, right? I know Cousin's Fat Jeff. I don't know Jeffrey Powell. And that's a whole nother story, right? But what you just said, as far as too many of our young black men being put in the casket. I don't watch the news, man, but let me just tell y'all a story real quick. Police say one victim was located in a vehicle in the 5,000 block of Reading Road with a gunshot wound. 2 more gunshot victims were located in the 4900 block of Montgomery Road, according to police. Officials have identified 2 people who died as a 15-year-old and a 19-year-old. Let me tell y'all one more story, man. Just one more, real quick. And I'm gonna be real quick.
These are real stories.
These are real stories. These are real stories. Let me tell y'all one more story real quick.
Are these representations?
This is my story.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is my story. This is my story. You know? So, my story.
What took place with your son?
With my son.
With your son.
But let them not say it was my son.
Well, they all are kids.
They all are kids.
Go ahead.
Man.
So my son.
Picking up the pieces.
Can you take a moment? Because last week, I was explaining to some people why I really did it. They're like, wait, I didn't hear him. He didn't talk. Can you at least take 2 minutes to explain how you was raised and what you thought to do? And then your son, like...
So
are you talking about how you were raised?
Well, I had a few people that didn't hear it because when I told them the story, one of them is a working woman, right? Who happened to be working with some high-powered people, but she go home to a ghetto. And in that ghetto, she see a lot of things. And she say, damn, down, like they got an accent. She was like, well, Billis ain't got no name on it.
Yes.
Well, go ahead, relative.
So the reason why I'm here in 2 minutes, right?
Or longer.
I am the voice for the moms that have lost their children. I am the voice for the fathers that have lost their namesake. And it's a painful experience. So my whole story is, I moved my kids to the suburbs so they could be protected. And my son got murdered at a YMCA, where little kids play soccer every day. You know?
In the suburbs?
In the suburbs.
Okay.
Westchester, Ohio. That's where my son got murdered at. I moved my family out of North College Hill, Ohio, thinking I was protected. Because I knew that I didn't want my son to be a victim. So you move him away to protect him. But at the end of the day, the ignorance came out.
You moved away thinking you protected.
Thinking I was protected. You know? So I sit here today as a broken piece. That's why I brought my rocks today. None of these rocks are formed. None of these rocks are all the way put together. But we stand on a strong foundation, which is this rock right here. So that's why I'm here. To be a voice for the mamas and the daddies, and to stop. Sooner or later we can switch roles. Sooner or later we can do something different. I've never lived the experiences that these guys live. I've never had to go through the things that these guys live. But I experienced the same things that they've experienced.
I want you to know I love you.
I love you too, sir.
You hear me?
For sure.
I'm talking about, man,
Sure.
it feel good.
For sure. For sure. You know, because I sit here picking up the pieces, right, Torrance?
Picking up the pieces, bro.
This is a community of men. This is a community of black men from